What's up, guys? This is Low Miles, No Miles podcast week 4. It's Sunday again. We're chilling, and we're ready to tell some cool stories and talk about some stuff that's happened on the page this week. So hope you can join us and get some good laughs.
Oh, you'll have a good time.
Yeah, here we go. So, the first thing we want to touch on is 2004 Mystichrome Cobra Coupe.
Sold.
Yeah, it's sold, guys. It's sold.
$105,000.
A lot of hate.
A lot of hate.
A lot of hate on that car. Everyone, you're crazy. You'll never get it. It's never going to happen. Well, he got it.
Mm-hmm.
The price bashing on every post is uncontrollable, and this one proved them wrong.
Certain posts. I mean, it's like a post like this that gets a little of both.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, no, that's going to sell for that. The people that own them are like, yes, please sell for that.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are like, no, hell no. Like, that's a stupid Mustang. Like, it's not going to sell for $105,000.
Nobody understands, one, they're not giving it the credit for the miles, and then two, the color, and then it's a coupe.
I think it's the best modern Mustang. I don't know. Maybe
As a Cobra owner myself, I'm very happy to see that it sold for that money.
Yeah, right.
Very, very happy.
No, I like to see that. That is like, and I like that he listed the car for sale on the group. I had it on a couple other groups. I don't know where it sold from, but it ends up selling. And I like that he came back to the group to let everybody know it sold.
He even gave us a price, which is nice. He said he sold it for $105,
which is what he was asking.
He was asking $105,500.
Oh, $500 discount.
$500 discount.
And it is going to Canada. So
yeah,
it's almost a shame seeing all the good cars leave our state.
I mean, our country.
Or our country, I should say. Yeah, sorry. Country.
An American masterpiece like one of these.
Yeah.
Now she's in Canada, eh?
Yeah. No, that's a sweet one, man. I mean, that car is so iconic. You'll never, that is
Look at all the paperwork he's got.
It's one of the coolest cars ever created, I think.
I'm
just very biased because I love those cars.
Such a cool
car.
That
was the era I grew up in, loving those cars. But I think that's probably one of the coolest cars ever made.
Best modern muscle car there is.
It's a body guy's worst nightmare.
Some people say it's not bad, though, because the way it flips and flops, it doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's the car, if it's been painted on, you would know for sure. Like
one panel reflects
something's
different.
not going to seem right.
Yeah. I love the purple in it.
Yeah, it's
that color is probably real hard to match up.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't.
I mean, that'd be tough.
I wouldn't want to be responsible for that job. So
be one expensive one.
What that car?
We actually did a pearlescent paint job on that 65 or 66 Mustang we did for SEMA back in the day.
Yeah,
and we had to redo the door like 6 times
just to get
to
match.
Was it like you painted the whole entire car, or you just painted like some panels on
the whole car? It was a pearl white.
And still, we're having trouble with just one door.
Yeah, just a little bit of shade. It doesn't seem like a lot, but you really notice it once it hits the light.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That one sold though, so we just wanted to touch base on that. That all the haters, some of you just don't know. You don't know the values. You don't know what the stuff's going to sell for, and you'd be pleasantly surprised. I mean, there's people in the comments saying "Oh, it's only a $40,000 car." Like, can get all I ask, and we can ask anybody, you got all this time to babble and BS in the comments. Why don't you just go do some research? Look around. Is this possible?
Yeah.
Go on some auction sites, check classic.com, look at comps, see what's sold, and you'll find out that you're probably wrong. So, unfortunately. But yeah, so that was a cool one. Another cool one I seen this week on the group was a 79 Trans Am 455 4-speed
76.
LE. 76 TA 455 4-speed LE car. So it was the limited edition, black and gold, when they, pre-Smokey and the Bandit car, the first. Wasn't it, Anthony?
Smokey and Bandit was a 76 that they put a 77 front end on.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm 90% positive that's how that car started off.
Didn't they film some of it with a 76?
I think so.
Straight up, with a
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean,
there was ties in that movie to the 76. I forgot how it went, but that was the OG black and gold car.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This car that was on the group had 7,900 miles on it. It was it was a one owner car.
Yep.
And
It's a garage find.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments and stuff on it, and there was like a guy too that had like knows of one local to him that's got 31 miles on it, and it's still like in the MSO window sticker on it and everything, like all original.
That's crazy.
So I mean, yeah, those are big dollar cars right now.
We had one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we bought a. Ours wasn't nothing like that. It had like 50,000 miles on it, but it was kind of cool.
Real nice car.
It was cool how we bought it, because so Anthony had a 68 Dart that he restored, 340 car, and we went and bought the car in Shelby Township, Michigan. And
Dylan found the car originally on
on
eBay.
eBay, yeah.
So we went and picked it up right in high school or right out. So it would have been 2000 and
it had it was probably like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember when Anthony first got that car, right?
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah,
It was like
Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Bart
Isn't it?
Simpson.
He was
it
drinking
was-
a Slurpee while skating.
yeah, Bart Simpson in the back glass.
Well,
it was one of those like stickers that you could see out of though.
Would have been
But it
like
was
a 7-Eleven
a
window.
big
Yeah.
mural of Bart Simpson
Yeah.
in the back, and the car was like half primer, half red, and it had like red velour seats in it.
Yeah.
And I remember us leaving to drive it home or whatever, and we were just gonna drive it. Like we were
It ran and drove.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like wintertime. And we
Yeah.
were like 30 minutes from home, and we
We're
jump
like-
in the car, start driving, get pulled over immediately. I mean, the car
Cops
was
like,
just like
cops like, you need to tow it home. You know, you don't have a plate. This car's not, roadworthy. You got to tow it home. And we're like, okay, we're gonna pull it in this parking lot and called the truck. So we pulled in the lot, waiting for the cops to leave, and we're like, screw it, let's keep
took
driving.
off. Let's go. Bart,
But
hey,
anyways-
come on, Bart. Let's go.
Bart
No,
the
as,
nerd.
as Bart would say.
Eat my shorts.
My shorts. Yeah, eat my shorts,
That's what
man.
he told the cops.
That's funny.
We
And
were
anyways, we get it home. Car
gone.
gets
had like a ratchet shifter on
yeah, oh
the
yeah,
floor.
it was full blown race car, open headers.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
it wasn't fast, right? It had a
no.
built 318 in it
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. And it had a little ratchet shifter on the floor. And yeah, it was.
It sat in this shop for a while.
A
didn't
long
it?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, Anthony would come in here and sit in it and dream of
Yep.
like restoring
The day
it
when
one
it was
day.
finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And it
how
got
long did it
finished in
take?
this.
Yeah,
It got
when did-
finished in this garage too.
Yeah.
Well, how
Um,
long did that take?
5-6
Long
years.
time. You restored it probably until I'm gonna say like 2018, 2019 or something like that.
When did you sell it?
Finally finished it.
2019, 2020.
Right. Yeah, you probably drove it for like 2 years, enjoyed it
Yeah.
for 2 years, sold it during like COVID or something.
Yep.
But, I mean, the car was beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
you did a top shelf, you and your dad, from frame off. It was sand blasted. The car
That was really nice.
Yeah.
It's very
top
nice.
shelf build. I mean, it was beautiful.
So we got it restored, and kind of around that time, a lot of people are posting videos of like showing the previous owner their car after they restored it and all that stuff. So me and Dylan were like, let's go find the owner and show him the car. Let's see if he still lives there. So we hopped in the Dart. We drove back to his house, knocked on the door. I think it was the wife.
Yeah, well, it's funny because the wife answers and she don't know. She didn't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, she's
And-
like, I'm like, I bought your Dart, and she looks at the car. She's like, that's not mine. That's not our car. I go, yeah, it didn't look like this when we bought it, but this was the car I bought off you guys.
Even the husband had no clue.
Yeah.
He comes out, he's like, what? And
Yeah.
we're like, the Dart. We bought it off you
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years ago.
It was
Like,
originally his brother's car from California, so like we thought this guy had been excited, like, oh my god, and all that stuff. And he
Yeah.
really didn't really show too much excitement.
No, he kind of was like,
Didn't
it was
care.
weird. He's like, yeah, the videos we were watching on YouTube and Facebook,
Yeah.
big disappointment.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be this special
Yeah.
moment. Guy was going to come out and just be like, oh my God, I can't
Oh,
believe
yeah.
this. Thank you. He like barely even wanted to go for a ride.
Yes.
Anthony's like, I'll take you for a ride or whatever. Thank God you did. You took him for a ride. And then you come back and then
Right
like,
around,
just
yeah.
get this guy out of here. You
Yeah.
know, like this guy don't care.
We're done.
So Anthony's like, hey, get in. Down the street, 76 Trans Am LE car
Hiding
in the
in a
garage.
garage.
So we just jump back in the car, drives it's like 7 houses down, whip in there, knock on the door. Hey, you want to sell that Trans Am? The guy's like, yeah, I think so. If I could get like around market value or something, I'd let it go. And we ended up buying it. And I think back then, this was, again, this was like probably 2019. So it was pre-COVID numbers. They were bringing good money, but I think we paid like 30 grand for it. It was
Yeah.
a really nice car. Like this car was beautiful.
The prices on them are dramatically
Oh,
up compared to
God, I
then,
mean, a car
and it was
like- a
only a
car
couple
like-
years.
A car like the one on the group's probably like $100,000
Yeah.
car, and this at the time, I think we sold it for like $40K.
Yeah.
You sold it to a guy in Florida who literally
That was another
screwed
goofy
with
deal.
you forever.
Yeah, we
on
thought
it.
he
Like,
was scamming us, and at the time, we really weren't doing a lot of out-of-state deals. And
But remember, he came out and looked at it, and in typical classic car buying fashion. He looked at it for about 6 hours, touched every bolt, laid under. You would have thought this guy was buying like a $300,000 car. You know, I mean, he just hands on every single inch of this car. I remember Anthony sending me pictures of the guy just laying under it. I just want to get out of here. Like, is this ever going to end? Like, please. Like, can this guy just either buy it or go home? I think you end up asking him, like,
are we done here?
What are we doing? Like, you buying the car or not? You know,
when we look at cars, and we don't spend a lot of time looking at these cars just because we know how people act.
Probably should.
And when you spend too much time on a car, you get the typical guy just slams the hood. And he's like, we're done here, you know?
We've had that
and
happen
like,
a lot.
I was getting ready to do it to this guy. I'm like, I just want to be like, we're done here, you know? It's like, either you want it or you don't. You've seen everything.
Well, because we knew this car was nice. So, like, what do you, like, are you trying to, like, hope something's going to jump out at you, you know? Like, it was such a long process.
Yeah,
And, you know, Anthony, he's had the hood shut on him many a times. He loves picking rust. So when it's like his favorite thing to do. When we find a car that someone said, no, it's got no rust or whatever, and we get out there and it's got rust, Anthony's like, what's this? And he's got to put his foot through it while he's telling the guy, like, oh yeah, what's this? And then the guy's got a gaping rust hole on the ground. He's like, well, it wasn't that bad before. And so I thought I had no rust, you know?
Things falling apart.
I don't know. Did the guy end up buying the car on that trip, or did he go home and
he
then
went
call
home
us back?
and wired the money, and it was a long.
It was.
I mean, that's how it goes. Selling classic cars sometimes a process, you know.
Yeah.
But he finally did buy it, and so
we love those Trans Ams.
We've had so many older TAs, and you know, like we have John Kraft on the group. He's close, local to us.
He's posted a lot of Trans Ams
big
on the
Trans
page.
Am guy. Everyone knows him for the TAs. We've sold him a few cars over the years and stuff, and you know, we love those cars.
He bought the silver car, didn't he?
No, yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he did buy it. Yeah, so so we bought a 78 W72 404 speed Trans Am. It was crazy because at the time I was I don't know why, but I didn't have a car. I don't know what I was doing.
No, I think we were hanging out.
I was like in between cars because you were driving. We were carpooling to work or something. I don't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to keep miles off of something I had because I lived like 40 minutes from work at the time. And Anthony's coming to pick me up or whatever. And one day he drops me off. He goes to head home, and he's driving down the river road, and he sees this Trans Am for sale. And he's like, oh, damn, I got to stop and look at this. And it ends up being a 29,000 original mile, one owner. Like the guy lived in a house on the river over here.
Like a little canal type house.
You know, he was the original owners, had the car there in that garage since day one. And it was silver with powder blue interior. Really kind of ugly, but cool.
I liked it. It was cool.
It had no T-top. It had like the black and red and gray bird on the hood. So it was a cool car, but it was weird. It was a very weird spec. And so you call me right away. You're like, oh, we got to buy this car. It was a really good deal.
I was like, you want to buy a Trans Am?
Smoking deal. And we had cash. Like we had under the bed cash. And we ran back over there and bought it. And you couldn't get me and him out of this car.
Those F bodies drive so nice. We were just tooling it around. We were just enjoying it.
We drove that car everywhere. We were
75, 80. You just hand off the wheel, thing just floats.
It was such a nice car.
Yeah.
It was just so easy to drive. 4-speed, just smooth. Like I don't know, anyone that's probably owns one or driven one can attest to it. They're just actually a really nice car.
It was like that era of cars was the downfall of muscle cars and everything, but those Trans Ams were just the best of that era.
Yeah, those are those Camaros from that era. They're like just
felt right.
They still felt like the early 70s.
I mean, probably the coolest muscle cars of the late 70s. That's all you had, you know. I mean, even a Corvette doesn't hold up to those cars. So they were super cool. Yeah, and we were driving the car everywhere. So much that we were like using it to buy cars. Like we just
found one of
around.
our Best Buys in that car.
Yeah, we bought found it in like the newspaper. It was an 8,000 mile 98 Silverado, black Z71 leather, like the one that everyone would want. And it was
stunning.
A one owner truck. It was out in Imlay City, Michigan. And the guy, we pull up in the Trans Am. And the guy was a car guy, so instantly he's like, oh, it's sweet, you know. And
it was sitting in the garage on jack stands
with the wheels and tires off, like just underneath perfect, interior perfect. His dad bought it new, window sticker, all the stuff. And we end up striking a deal, buy the truck, throw the wheels and tires back on it, get it off of jack stands, and took it home. And it was just a nice little convoy that day.
Yeah.
You know, the nice TA with the Silverado behind you driving back, and
Very iconic.
it was nice. So
Every time we get those cars, it seems like we drive them.
oh yeah,
Even we
Yeah.
had the Formula and the Camaro. We drove it out to Woodward.
yeah, we enjoy those.
Yeah,
cars.
we like them.
Yeah.
I
Gotta
would
enjoy
like.
it a little
I mean,
bit.
I'm
Yeah.
a huge. I had when I was like 16. I
70s.
didn't appreciate it at the time. I should still have it today. I had a 77 404 speed Hearst T-top Y82, like the Smokey and the SE car. I had the one. It needed to be restored.
Once again, didn't John buy that car before we knew him?
Nope.
Or he
Sold,
ended
sold
up
that
with
to
it?
a guy in Roseville. No. We did sell John a really, really rough.
Oh, I found that one too. My parents were looking to buy a house, and we were viewing a house, and he had this just rough old rusty black Trans Am in the garage. And after we looked at the house, because the owner wasn't there, you know, when you're doing a walkthrough, I went back and knocked on the door. I said, "Hey, you want to sell that Trans Am?" And I don't think, did it not have the stripes on it, or was
Well,
primered?
it was like down to bare metal.
Yeah, so I didn't know it was an SE at the
But
time.
it had the gold dash,
Yeah.
bezel trim, and everything. So I mean, he had everything. He had the
Yeah.
build sheet. He had all the stuff. I don't even think the guy knew really
What
what
he
it
had.
was. But I mean,
Yeah.
it was a basket case of a car. But it was
Yeah.
numbers matching.
It was
and
the real deal.
So
So I went back, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll let it go." And then so me and Dylan, same thing, went back with cash and drug it out. I think that one we had a tow company come get it.
yeah, and
then-
just brought it up here to
Yeah.
this place and ended up selling it to John. That was the first time I ever met John, actually.
Yeah.
So
Did he say how long it was sitting for?
He was a long time owner. It wasn't like original
yeah.
owner,
It was
but
like
a long
in his
time.
family and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
long time
We've had a
owner.
lot of them. I've driven personally one of those cars like 4 or 5 hours away. I mean, I like them.
Yeah.
I would love to have one in the collection. You know.
Yeah, one
So-
day there will be one around
Oh,
here.
Noah, you ever got to enjoy one of those?
I don't know. I think maybe. I don't remember if I did. Honestly, we've had.
You
quite
went
a
to
few.
Woodward with us, I think, that day when
He
we
was
took
in
him
I
his
there.
was in
car.
like
Oh.
my Cobra at that
Yeah.
point. I don't know. I don't think I actually really have. I might have drove. What was that red? Didn't we have like a red? Was it a Trans Am or was it a Camaro?
The burgundy one?
Or
That
maybe
was
it
a
was-
Camaro.
Well,
But we
no,
did
no,
have
no,
a
no,
red
no,
Trans
That's
Am.
the one I'm
no.
talking about that I drove like 4 or 5 hours away. You probably drove that.
I
car.
drove that one.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
automatic, so
Yeah,
not
yeah.
as fun.
No, but yeah, no. They definitely. I mean, from what you guys say, it sounds like they
Yeah.
drive like a dream.
Is the red one you're talking about the one that we bought from your friend?
Who?
What was the guy's name that we bought a couple cars off him? He helped us buy the Mini Cooper. and-
No,
Remember
no,
we
not
bought his
Alan.
Trans
Not
Am?
Alan. Not Alan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not Alan. No, we did buy a Trans Am off of him though too.
Yeah.
That was a 75.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had our fair share. So we like those cars a
Yep.
lot, definitely. So keep posting them. Keep posting them on the groups. We like to
Yeah.
see them. So
Those are great.
Yeah.
yeah. So what else you got, Ryan?
I was thinking the same thing about the like 04, 03 Mustangs in terms of like how it feels to drive them.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like just after
Oh, you just made a post. You just
Yeah.
kind of had something on the Instagram about that. Like, well, was it a guy post like a refined Corvette to being in like a Terminator Cobra and the changes of it or something?
yeah, just how it feels, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
it's
doubt
pretty-
the 0304 is a very raw feeling car.
Yeah,
it's
it's
got a
a raw-
lot of torque.
it's a raw car. For
Yeah.
sure.
Drunk. I
Yeah.
mean, to me, I love those cars, but they're really kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Especially for a short
mean,
guy.
I-
They have like a
for
6
long
position
trips.
seat, but like they naturally sit like lean back.
If-
So like your feet are off the ground. And then whatever it is about those cable clutches, it is the heaviest clutch to
It's
drive.
heavy, but you get used to it.
So like doing any kind of traffic driving, like big
Yeah.
cruises,
Yeah,
good
Woodward.
luck.
Like if I
it
took mine
feels
to the
more
Dream
like
Cruise.
a muscle car.
Even
No,
the-
it does.
Like, because I mean, the shifter, you know, like you get in an 05 Mustang, you're like sitting in the
Oh,
seat,
yeah,
and the
the shifter
shifter's right here.
feel-
You're on the
Yeah.
console. It's like the perfect feeling. But those cars, I mean, you're grabbing down. Like
Yeah.
you're, grabbing.
Those
gears.
cars have arguably the best transmissions, a T56. Every big
They're
time
stout.
car
but they're
of that
noisy.
era has that trans. When people build those
If it's
transes, they
stock
put a
and noisy.
T56 in
I
them.
can't mind mine. You can't hear no trans noise.
Yeah.
What? Oh, what? Because exhaust.
Yeah,
But they are noisy.
I love
I've
noisy
put-
trans, dude.
You like a noisy trans?
Well, they
like
are
that
really
straight
noisy.
cut gear. Noise, just the whining.
They sound like that. When mine was
Yeah.
bone stock, I mean, yeah, you could hear that thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude, they made a silencer for them that you could put in them to like quiet it, like something that would
Over
put
the tunnel?
over the tunnel that would quiet it down.
Yeah, like factory, they come with that rubber boot, and then you put your leather boot over it. That's supposed to help
Yeah, I mean,
dampen
it's-
the sound. But
yeah, no, it's. I mean, I put probably what have I put on mine? Like 25,000 miles. I don't know. I mean,
are we ever gonna
Oh,
see
yeah,
your
you
car?
can.
Are we ever gonna see your car on the page? Or
No, probably not. It's not that. I mean,
It's hidden.
hey, you
not
saving
coming
that
out.
for yourself? You don't want nobody seeing it.
no, I mean, it's just not that low. Mine's got 43,000 miles now. So
Yeah.
It's not that
He
crazy.
enjoys it. It's low, but you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've only probably put in the last like 3 years. I probably put about 1,000 miles.
When
on
we
it.
bought it though, it was a low mileage car. And
Yeah, it only
we
had
to-
24,000.
Bought it off the original owner.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about that is we bought that car in probably 2000.
It was 2014.
Yeah, okay, 2014. Torch Red Coupe, one owner. How many miles?
24.
24,000 miles. Car was about all stock, about bone stock car.
Yeah, well,
Really nice.
Older guy had.
it had an intake.
Had the old school BBK.
So we
Yeah.
put the,
Cold
we
air,
put the
you
factory
know.
one back on,
And it had
came with
it had a crappy like short throw shifter. It wasn't like
Yeah, it
anything
did.
good at the time. It was like a I don't know, it was like a
It ended
Steeda
up,
or
it ended
something.
up like busting on him. It was broke on.
Yeah,
me.
Noah was grabbing gear so hard.
I think
blew
that's
the shifter
probably
right
why.
off.
You got
of
the
it.
shit.
But
There it is right there.
But the crazy part is 16.5.
Yeah,
16.5.
yeah, 16.
16.5 in 2014.
It was a deal back then too, though. It wasn't.
This
like,
is no accident, no clean title.
Guy
all
had-
the
He
documentation.
had the letter inviting him to the SVT track day.
Couldn't sell the car to save his life at
Yeah.
that time. I think
They were-
I think he was asking 20 grand, and I think we went down there and looked at it. Had a little scrape
On
like
the
on
side.
the scoop.
Still does to this day. Never
Yeah.
fixed it.
And we you never wanted to paint on it.
No.
Yeah.
And we kind of was like, we made him an offer and he wouldn't take it, and I think we like called him back a few days later and we ended up getting the car. But yeah, since
Well, it's crazy. Think about what we paid for the zinc yellow 03 convertible.
12 grand.
It was 11.5 or
11.5.
something.
The funny thing
And
about it,
that didn't have
Had
low
like
mi- it had
60 or 70,000.
and it was modified, had a solid
Had a
axle.
pulley. Yeah, I
and
did have a solid axle. It had a pulley.
Man, I
It
love,
was-
I love
yeah.
that car. I hate zinc yellow.
That was a
zinc
fun
yellow,
one.
bar none.
Convertible 304 Cobras are pretty nice cruiser.
They are a nice cruiser, but
It's a
that
no-
car with zinc yellow is
Oh.
kind of faded.
He don't like them, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even join in on this conversation. Anthony buys me and Noah are Terminator crazy.
I love 'em too, but-
nah, he loves them, but he's always wanted one. I've always wanted one. I'm not a huge convertible guy, but I
Either am
send
I.
him a low mileage black convertible. It was a weird car. It was a parchment interior,
Parchment top.
parchment top.
no spoiler.
Yeah,
Factory
true
spoiler
spoiler
delete.
delete car with a
And a
Whipple with
Yeah.
a Whipple,
2.3
on it.
Whipple, like a Gen
Nicely
1 Whipple.
modded car. Was how many miles? 30,000, 29,000.
I sold it with 36, I think.
Yeah, it's
something like that.
on it.
So I send it to
33,
Anthony.
I
I'm like, man, if I was in the market right now, I'd be bringing this oddball home, And I get into the office like an hour later, and he's on the phone with the guy putting a deal.
I kind of conned him to buy. I said, you should be buying that. man."
I was looking for a
He wanted
spoiler
one.
delete car. I wanted a car and I wanted a spoiler delete car. I really wanted a coupe.
Yeah.
And then that car popped up and it was like cheap, reasonable for what it was.
I think you paid 30.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll give a convertible a try, But
Yeah.
I will own a convertible one day for sure, and I'll just have both of them.
I'd like an Oxford white one.
that's rare.
Wrap top. Be nice. But
Compo too.
he-
172 if you want a compo.
drives the car for like
Yeah, what do you
half
drive
a
for?
summer.
Maybe a couple
I
months.
stored it, so I had
Hate
it longer
it.
than that.
sucks.
But yeah, you
don't
yeah.
like it.
Once
Most
again,
uncomfortable
I'm-
car
I'm
I've
a-
ever driven.
Gets this custom plate,
Yeah, what was the
one
plate?
of one.
It was one rare one.
or one rare one, and she gone. He sold it, and I was like, "What a disappointment!"
It just sold the other day
Yeah.
again to someone. Guy only paid like 25
that
grand
car
for
is
the
now
car.
getting just passed.
In
It's
my
got, like,
defense,
12 owners.
you go, like I said, I'm a short guy, so the way that seat is, you got to be all the way forward. You have this rock hard clutch. 2 or 3 main times I drove it was to Woodward.
Well,
And
see,
I'm
that's
like,
like it.
I'm like,
Anthony's he's hugging the wheel.
Woodward's
but
pretty
he's
overrated
right there
nowadays.
with
Yeah.
the shifter. I mean, he's like, you're driving by him. He's got the top down. He's up on the wheel. He's grabbing the gears.
I love those cars. I appreciate them, but at the end of the day, I'm just
You
I
hate
like-
'em.
I like classic cars, and I'd rather have my money in a classic car. So I did it. I scratched the itch, and off she went.
So
That
we've
itch was
made
scratched
a
quick.
pact. We better never see another Cobra at Anthony's house ever again.
I will
after
promise
that.
if I'm ever rich,
Oh,
rich.
he's gonna have one. And never
There's
ride
gonna
it.
be a low mileage one in the corner.
Yeah.
It'll be, you gotta have it.
Yeah, a little.
But it will
Little
be a coupe.
decoration.
It will be a coupe.
I will say that is a hard car not to drive. That's
Yeah.
a hard car to want to keep miles off because they are fun.
Yeah.
You
It's another car
especially
that's-
modded. They're a blast. So
They make easy power.
yeah. I mean, I remember we had a buddy that took us for a ride and he had a Kenny Bell car, Kenny Bell black coupe. This is back when like Snake Bite, the YouTube video that everyone loved of those cars was going around. And he takes me and Anthony for a ride. We're on 16 Mile. On 16 Mile on Metro Parkway where it's all trees.
Brand new
Like,
pavement. It's
yeah,
real
it's like the
smooth.
best part of
Yeah.
16 Mile.
No houses.
I mean, we're at a street light. He just launches this car. I mean, it's on methanol, so you're smelling the meth injection and stuff, and he just launches this thing. We're across all 3 lanes, just listening to the supercharger whining, screaming, and I was like, yep, this is it. This is my...
a 2.2 Kenny Bell, which I'm sure is what it probably was.
Yeah, I think
those
so.
are the loudest blowers.
Oh, it was screaming.
He worked by our car lot too, and one day he had it at work, drove it to work, and he was driving home. And he got on it because he seen us outside, and thing got sideways, and he just curved the back
curb.
wheel.
Hit the curb. It
Oh,
got out from him.
yeah.
Like, I mean, this car was quick. Man, it had
Yeah.
it was at the time it was making like 700 something
Yeah.
wheel. So it got
I
out
was
from
making
him.
700 wheel.
Yeah,
He
And
holds-
He bumped.
Probably didn't have a 2.2 then. I don't
It
know.
might have been.
It's
might have been a
been
2.8.
through a lot of
Might have been.
evolutions on that car.
Oh, it's been changed.
he
million
now it's a
times.
full blown race car, but for the longest time he held the fastest stick shift Terminator record for
For a bit.
quarter mile
I
racing.
think.
Oh,
I'm
really?
pretty sure.
It still probably is. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
quick.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that
Oh,
one. There's
you're
that
talking
one
about
compo
Ryan.
car that's crazy fast too. That holds like a lot of
It's
records.
Ohio
The
car.
stick shift dude.
Yeah, stick shift
On
dude.
Instagram.
Yep, it's a compo Cobra. I mean, those cars
Iconic.
are amazing,
Especially for our age
They
group.
are amazing.
Well, it's just the
So-
motors. They can handle a lot of power.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, and then like you buy a GT of that era, you throw like about
Valve.
6 pounds at it, and it's glass. It just
I had
grenades.
a Kenny Bell 2V.
I remember that Kenny
it,
Bell.
It blew up.
Yeah.
It didn't blow up.
Well-
A ring. Something happened.
I'm betting money. He let his girlfriend drive it to school. I'm betting money she put the wrong
She
gas
detonated it. Maybe.
in it. I think she tell you she put gas in it,
Yeah, I filled it up.
and you were
That's
like,
definitely what did
no.
Yeah.
that car only made like 5 pounds.
That was a low mileage car. It was like 20,000 miles.
it's a nice car. It was a
His
really
dad
nice
bought
car.
it at the Flint sale, I think.
Yeah.
And it was sitting at their house. And I'm like, I gotta have that car.
I remember when you first got it.
Yeah, and the car was beautiful.
It
And
was like
I
an 02 GT.
I hate to say it, I
Black coupe.
ruined the car, but I was only 17 years old. So I'm
Well, you
like
didn't
young.
ruin it. I mean,
But I mean, I put
you put an
01
03
Cobra seats in
Well,
it. I
that's
put a
fine. You were
03,
trying to make
04
it
Cobra
cool.
hood on it.
It looked
But
good.
it was a cool car, and like to this day, I wish I still had it just because it was fun, easy, clean. But that one was fun. We've had a lot of Mustangs.
You sure you wish you still had it? You don't like the
Nah,
way they...
yeah.
Well, those ones, the seats are better. They're more comfortable.
I remember
You said you put
seats in
01
it.
Cobra seats in it. I don't
Even
really-
those are better. Those as
I mean,
far
they're not
as the way
as
they
the
lean,
same, but
the way they lean.
Man.
But
I don't know.
it must have just been the convertible. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
But then you always talk about how much you love the convertibles. Oh, it's so nice.
yeah, you said
just-
you used to drive the zinc yellow one here and there.
It was fun. Yeah, we
Yeah.
drove it, but
I don't know. You just not.
I like old cars.
You're not
I
for the
wanted at the
Cobra
time. I think I wanted something older
Man.
I
Yeah.
remember Dane driving that thing.
on Hall
And
Road.
he's like, "Yeah, can I get into it?" And you're like, "Oh,
There
yeah."
was a car
Break
next
some
to us. I
loose.
forgot what it was, and we were getting ready to pull into a Dairy Queen,
Yeah.
and this guy's like revving it, and he had his girlfriend with him, and I'm like, just get on it. And then we're already in the turning lane, and he just drops a gear, and we take off and just blow his doors off, and Dane was just smiling the whole time.
So was I, man. That was a
Yeah.
crispy downshift.
I think we had
too.
like 4 people in the car.
Yeah, I got a little squirrely with it.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't know,
man.
that car was. I think that car was pretty slow though.
It was,
Or
yeah.
it
It
was,
probably
yeah.
barely had 300.
What was it?
Horse.
Oh, the
Yeah, the
Yeah.
2000.
yeah, I probably made like 300 wheel.
Yeah.
Those are just
But
fun
when you're
back
only
Maybe
then.
a little more than that.
when you're 17
Maybe like
years
320,
old,
330 wheel.
that's
That's
fast.
not bad.
that was
That's fast.
good back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, we
No,
all
especially
we
back
all
in the
got
day.
big
Back in the
Mustang.
day.
We got big Mustang background here.
Yeah.
I had a Mach 1 for 11 years and a Zer Blue Mach 1.
Fox
my
bodies.
my first car was a 99 Mustang GT that was loaned to a
This kid would drive around town in this black Mustang all day. He'd put $20 in the tank and just do laps around town in first gear. Just revving it out. Revving it out in first gear.
I remember one time I was playing basketball like the local park, and there was a couple cops there, like just like shooting the shit with us, shooting some hoops too with us. And he goes, "You that kid that's got that black Mustang that never gets out of first gear. Every time I hear that thing, it's just revving out."
And this thing was loud.
You're,
so
you
you
know,
can only
you're 16
imagine.
years
was,
old, you
oh,
know.
Yeah.
You like that stuff.
Yeah.
you know? It's crazy. It was a cool car, man. I think back in the day, I paid like $6,500 for that car.
Dude,
It
I
had
think I
like
was
Cobra
with Dad when we
bumpers
bought
and a
that.
stalker hood.
I
or
swear, I think I
something.
only paid like $4,500.
It was cheap.
Times have changed.
That was in,
had an 0304 Cobra
was in
back
Flint.
bumper. Had a 9101 Cobra front bumper. It had
stalker
it
hood
had
or
like one of
something.
those stalker
Yeah, it had the
scooped
Stalker.
hood.
Was
Yeah.
it? What was it? What's the company? Is it Stalker?
Yeah,
Is it-
Stalker.
I think it was
Stalker, Cervini's.
Cervini,
Cervini
that's what it
Stalker
is,
hood.
Cervini.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was real cool.
He was
in
the
that
man.
thing,
He was the man.
Had Cobra R wheels on it.
It was
Oh,
it was a clean
no,
car
those,
for what
those
it was.
were just like 95, like.
No, they were replica Cobra R's.
Chrome,
the
yeah.
chrome ones.
Yeah, but they weren't like
like off of like a
2000. They were like a. They
No,
would have been
yeah,
like a
yeah, they were
95.
90s Cobra
Yeah.
wheels.
Would've been a
Yeah,
95,
they
90s,
still
yeah.
people ran them back then
Yeah.
on them. I
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah, it was cool.
I liked it. It was
No, when I was a little kid, I was like, "Yeah, my brother's got a sick Mustang, man, real sick Mustang." Everyone that knew me was like, "Your brother's Mustang's so sweet, man." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." It was cool.
I
Yeah,
mean, it was all right. I mean, me and Anthony thought we were pretty cool in high school.
he had that. I had a notchback that was just a pile. But I had a notchback. He had that.
was
We
that the
were
one with
cruising
the
around.
Cobra R wing?
When I bought it, I did.
This guy buys a notchback with a GT body kit
Oh.
and a Cobra R wing.
You remember
It was
when you?
horrible.
Remember
It was
when
red.
you-
horrible.
You remember when we were going? You took me for a ride in it, and we got pulled over on River Road. You were doing like
I was-
80
was-
on a
no,
40.
The lane was dying, and I needed to get over. I was cruising next to Dylan, and he would not let me get over. Every time I tried to speed up to get around him, he sped up. His car was black, my car was red, and so I just gunned it to get in front of him, and sure enough, there was a cop there. I get pulled over, and he just drives
The cops
away.
asked me like, how do you know this guy? I'm like, he's my brother's
Driving
friend.
past,
He's my brother's
Hey,
friend.
I
Yeah, no, I remember seeing Dylan drive by.
Yeah, he spun around.
Spun around, drove by.
I felt bad. I was like,
I was
oh
like,
man,
oh,
because like
you
all
drove
these
fast?
cops, there was some sneaky cop around here. He used to always sit in a guy's driveway.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
he would
hide.
literally
He would
hide
hide
out
in
in a
this
dude's
guy's
driveway.
driveway.
Like
And we
you should not
we-
be doing that.
We knew he was there too.
Yeah, and I don't know. Anthony got popped, and he got his first ticket and his first Mustang
Oh,
on
it
like
was
the
bad.
third day of owning it.
My parents weren't happy.
No. So, well, I mean, we did some crazy. So we're always dumb kids. But remember me and you, Ryan, in the Neons?
In front of
Yep.
Marty's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, Ryan you had a black SRT4. I had a blue SRT4. I had a blue SRT4 with like 230,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Nice car. You had a really nice black, kind of modded. It was a low
It
miles
was
at the time.
tuned, cold air, had more boost. I don't know.
yeah.
but
Yeah,
stock
it
turbo.
had
Had
a
a
boost.
boost
It had a
controller.
boost controller
Yeah.
on it. Just like little piddly
yeah,
stuff.
full
Blow
on
off.
stuff.
We were like leaving. Where were we? Like bowling or something, and we're like coming back to Marty's house, and we're like on a two. Well, I mean, just a one way each way road, 2-lane road, and you're like jumping on it, and I jump over into oncoming traffic, and I'm just flying, and we pass by Marty's house. There's both of us racing, like we're like neck and neck.
Somebody's got a video of that. I
Yeah,
think.
we were on it,
We were
man.
Yeah.
flying, man. But man,
Those cars
that
sound
was a
fast.
riot too. Hey, this guy, he's got one hiding out.
Yeah.
He's got a little gem SRT4 that, you know,
I do.
when are we
Almost
going to
got it.
see that one?
I could post that. That's a little bit more like respectable, I guess, to put on the page.
Yeah.
You made some reels of it. Did you post them?
I got some clips of it. I don't know if I posted a reel of
It's
it.
an orange Blast 05. It's got 50 on it.
Now that I mean, I
One
hate
owner
to
I got
compare
from
a
the owner.
Neon to a Terminator, but in the like tuner world, the SRT4 is like equivalent to a Terminator.
American wise, yeah. For
They're
sure.
just.
I mean, they were
the way they
quick.
feel, the torque, the speed, the sound.
I love driving around. It's fun.
Another car I'd love to just have sitting in the collection. You know, I mean, I love those cars.
We've all had a
No,
ton
they're
of them.
fun.
Noah's
I had
couple of them,
before that, the one I have now, I had a commemorative edition.
which was the white with the blue stripes.
I mean, the noises
That
that
car
those
was a
cars
piece
would
of-
make.
yeah.
You know, like
Don't get
you
a
get on
sunroof
it,
in
you got the
SRT4.
turbo. You
Mine
got the
don't leak. I
wastegate.
got a sunroof. It don't leak.
Yeah, it's like one
The
of
nice
those
thing
things,
though
they
is
all
like if
leak,
it's
though.
just a toy, you know, or a Sunday
Oh, yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
you
not
got
gonna be driving it. In
honestly,
the rain.
Yeah, I don't
those
really
cars
drive
are
mine very
ragged.
much.
They are ragged out.
You got to
It is
remember,
so hard to
they were a
find.
cheap car from the dealer. So
they were every
built
kid's
cheap.
dream. They
Yeah.
were lit. Like I remember just
Well, it's
they
Fast
were-
and the Furious
I mean, I
time.
had mine in like 2012, 2011, but like so they were old as shit then. But
Yeah.
I remember like buying mine, and even though it had 200,000 miles on it, I was like just so excited to get it. I mean, I love these.
It was a
cars,
cool
you
car.
know?
It was a one owner.
That's the
Yeah,
only reason why I
that's
like
why
it
And
so
the
much
guy,
now.
they had a
is
brand.
'cause-
The interior looked brand new. It just had a little bit of rust on it.
It looked
It was a
really
straight
clean for the
car.
miles.
Yeah, it was nice. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, but they were fun, man. I
Yeah.
mean, you know.
Now that's like they used to be cheap, so you can just go get one. Now
Noah's
they're
got
expensive.
such a little cool collection hiding out in the garage, man. He's like, no, I don't.
I got the clips. I'll throw them in the
it's
pod.
not, it's not even like it's not low miles, but I mean, he's got a mint 06 Yukon too. That's just a total freaking.
When
cherry.
we were in there
It's
yesterday,
got
Wow.
towels on the interior, towels on the seats and the floor.
frame, probably one of the nicest frames you'll see on one.
my brother's seen. He goes, "That thing's got to have low miles." He's like, "Whose is that?"
It looks like it's got probably about 30 on it, but it doesn't.
It's the George.
It has
the George-
140.
Yeah, 140. But I'm telling you,
from North
it
Carolina,
looks like
one
it's
owner.
got 30. Everything
Yeah.
Noah's got mint. Just one owner. He's the one owner king. He's
Yeah,
got
that's the
all
only way to
this-
do it. No, but
I got to get all the documents with my stuff.
I got window stickers for everything.
He knows how to buy them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we got to give Keegan a shout out on the neon though.
He's the one that found the
Yeah.
neon.
He sent
Yeah.
it to me because I'm always blabbing about how I wish I had another SRT4. So he'll just like pound my inbox with them. He sends one after the other. Here's a good one. Here's another one. You know, you're gonna buy it, and then he sent me the one, the one that Noah has, and I was like, that's a pretty damn good deal. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm like, I bet my brother will. So I sent it to my brother.
I wasn't
and
even
he
really
was-
looking for one.
No, you were
You-
buying it like
Yeah, I
20
just,
minutes later. It was from
Yeah.
where? Kansas or something? Oklahoma?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. He's having it shipped in. I told Keegan, I'm like, well, thanks. It's coming our way. Not for me,
What?
but for my brother. So.
That's a definition of adult money. You just don't need it.
You know, I
Weren't
love
looking
these
for it,
cars.
but here's the deal. You got to pick it up.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, yeah, it was cheap.
It was
Very
cheap.
cheap.
It was
50,000
cheap.
miles. One owner guy had it since new.
Except it's got the fat man seats.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's my only gripe on it. But
But
I still like
Noah's
it.
got some orange.
I have brand new
stitched,
OEM
like,
orange stitch Viper
Copperhead
seats from a
seats
Copperhead
in
Yeah,
there that he
Viper.
could toss in there that would look pretty sick.
Preserve the factory seats.
But I honestly would like to find it just a. So if anybody has a mint set of the Viper inspired style seats that came out of SRT4, I would buy them.
Let's say a guy had a pair of
There you go.
NOS
Using the
ones
podcast to
in the
find
Chrysler
seats. I
box.
like it.
Oh,
Would
yeah.
you feel bad opening them up and putting them in?
They'd go right in that car. No question.
Just
I
shred
know,
the box
I
open
barely
and-
drive the car, so it would just.
Noah's
you know.
the seat king, man. This guy had a mid
yeah.
3,000 mile 16 Hellcat Charger,
Yep.
red line red. One day he hits me up. He's like, "We got to go get some seats." Buys a full, which I'm sure it was some chopped up
They were
car.
definitely from a
They were
chopped up
probably
car.
stolen, but he buys a full demonic red interior, door panels, seats, the whole nine.
Yeah, so the car was red line red with the black stripes, and then I put it had the red seat belts, and then I put the demonic red interior, whole thing, door panels, all that.
Yeah.
So it was the only, I guarantee right now in the world, it's the only red line
Yeah,
red.
for the people that don't know Mopars
But-
or those
yeah.
Chargers, that
was
combination
only,
wasn't
yeah,
offered.
you
But the
couldn't get
car-
demonic red seats till 18 in a Charger.
The car was brand new. The car was mint, and
Yeah.
then the interior was out
mint.
of a brand new car.
Yeah.
So literally, it looked. I mean, the car, it looked untouched. Like
Yeah.
we took our time, we pulled it
Yeah.
all apart, we swapped the interior over, and it looked sick.
The only thing that was weird about it was the
Did door panels?
The,
and
so
everything.
the I had the Harman Kardon in my car, and the seats that I got, that car didn't have Harman Kardon, so there was supposed to be like a little top mini speaker on the back door panel, but mine didn't have that. So
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it didn't really matter. But it was kind of weird.
And then there
Yeah.
was some issues with plugging the seats in, right?
the
Yeah, I had
airbag.
to have the airbag light. But I had Vola's
A
they
mechanic
had to
shop, a local
rewire
shop.
the entire. I don't know what they did, but
It was cool. I will
think
say
it was
when it was
like-
done, we
sweet.
were
Yeah.
like, dang. But
Yeah,
this
it was
guy, he
cool.
likes his seats. He likes, swapping
likes
out,
Bird
Well,
stuff.
yeah.
changing interiors. So
The red belts, which was really cool with it too. I mean, it was
Yeah.
red.
yeah, it was very red, very red.
That right there, what you're
And
on,
I'm-
almost. That's kind of
I'm
like
sure that car is spanked today.
I just ran the Carfax. I don't even know he still owns it.
How many miles?
Last reported, I think it was like 16,000.
Okay.
I sold it with 13 and some change.
All right. Well, that's not bad then.
when we were looking for posts to talk about. I seen when we bought the C8 that and the Charger was in the background, and we drove out there to buy it.
The white, the first C8 that we
C8
bought. Yeah,
ever
yeah.
bought. Yeah.
We're out there flexing on a guy. We said we can't.
Yeah,
we can't drive our work car. We got to take something a little
Yeah,
nicer.
we took the Hellcat.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it was like at the time, it was right when the C8 dropped.
Yeah.
And people were flipping them for, boatloads.
Oh yeah, what did we pay for a base 1LT? Say what did we pay for that car?
$80K.
Well over. I think probably stickered in the
I
60s.
It was a $68,000 sticker.
yeah, and
car.
I want to say we paid like 80 grand. It was a white 1LT,
Nothing
nothing
car.
car.
I mean,
and I
ugly.
think we sold it
Ugly.
for like 90. Like
Yeah.
this was like peak C8. Like these things just dropped. People were just
People
getting
were-
them. Like we just got lucky, found like everyone was selling them, but this one was like finally for like it sounds like a terrible deal now, but it was a good deal at the time.
Yeah,
and
at the
we
time,
snatched
it
it
was-
up, and we thought, like, oh, finally we get to drive one of these.
I don't think
C8s
we'll
and-
ever see a market like that again. That was historically some crazy stuff in that era of
I'll tell you
Who
right
knows?
now, whoever bought that one, that white one we had for like
upside down
90K,
for sure.
good luck.
Well, it's not only the Corvettes, all the TRXs.
But that's how it was. That's what the stuff was made.
392
Broncos
Wranglers,
were selling
Broncos.
for 100,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we
Well,
had
the
a
first
editions.
edition.
We had a
Yeah.
first edition.
Yeah.
We
did a first edition Bronco, and it was a blue one. It was the first. I mean, it was like the first Bronco we ever
like
bought.
a
It was like
couple
right
months
when they dropped, and we got one, and I think we paid like 80-some thousand for it, and sold it for like 90 grand. But I mean, it was crazy because like 2 weeks later, like at the auction, they were dropping like rocks. You got like
Yeah,
that
we
was
just
such a
got
like
that at
such
the
a
right time.
weird time because like you wanted to get involved, but then you weren't sure if you wanted to get
You
involved.
were
You were
like,
on
timing
timing
it,
you were
like,
worried that it was like the stock market. Like you could
Yeah.
1 minute the whole
you get
values
caught,
could just
you
tank.
get caught holding the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get, and there was guys that were like, we were doing it like
One
we
here,
would
one
buy,
there.
well, we would buy like 4 or 5 different like new cars a week, and like then just move them, like get in and get out. There was guys that were buying tons of them, like
Yeah.
buying them all day, every
Mm-hmm.
day, like had stock of, all these brand new cars. And like, I mean, granted, most people probably did really well and got out, but there was just a time there when stuff started to settle.
There was a
and drop.
lot of people,
You coulda
private
got
individuals that were ordering them, putting their names on lists and ordering them new, and then flipping them that way. And that's where we were buying them off the people that bought them just to flip.
Yeah,
We'll
And,
probably put our buddy Danny on here one
Yeah,
day.
he was
He
big
was the
time
Bronco
Bronco.
king.
Yeah,
He got
did
into a little bit of everything, but he was Broncos.
50 Broncos. 50.
during COVID.
Yeah.
Or-
Just during
50.
that time when they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kept all the window stickers, and he has them all laminated. He's got a big stack.
We're
of
gonna have to
stickers.
get a picture. We need to lay all his window stickers out and have him pose on top of them. That'll be the
Oh,
thumbnail.
okay, yeah, right. Yeah, I
We'll
don't
get
think
him to
I
do
don't
that.
think he's gonna go.
We'll,
for
we'll
that.
make him do that. Like,
But-
hey, buddy, if you want to be on the show, that's what you got to do.
But
You wanna be on the show or not? Come
We're
on.
so weird about window stickers. Obviously, like we would go buy, like we were buying some stuff off of them, and we would go buy like
The
go buy.
392s.
We
I
bought
think.
the two.
We buy
392
anything, and he's
Wranglers.
like, "Yeah, I'm keeping this sticker." And we're like,
I think
"Oh,
you
come on."
got into like as you became friends with him, you just knew he liked to fight and argue and debate and all that stuff. But I think you got in a big fight over those Wranglers. You said, if I don't get those stickers, I'm not buying them. And then finally he caved.
I don't think I cared that much.
No, I think you got in a fight with him over it.
No.
I'm pretty sure you
I
did.
doubt it. We'll find out. I fight with Danny every day. Every day of my life, I'm arguing with Danny. So we'll bring Danny on here. Danny handles our merch and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So he'll
He's
come
part of
on
the
here
team.
and talk. And but yeah, he was the Bronco god. And I think I bought like I did 50. The 50th he kept. He doesn't have it now. But then I think like either like 51 and 52 he had ordered, and they were like way, way, way out. And then 51 I think I bought. it was the Heritage. So then I had that for a little bit and drove it and sold it. But yeah, he did.
Oh, he ordered that?
Yeah, out of New York, a dealer in New York. So then I bought that. So yeah, a lot of Broncos, man. Yeah, just different wild time. But
Yeah, we dabbled in
all
all
that
that. We
stuff
did a
was-
couple Mavericks.
oh, we did Mavericks, Escalades,
Blackwings.
Black
Blackwings
Wings,
that came out, both of them, 4V and a 5V.
we did everything. You know,
But-
I mean, we were buying them. Yeah, like the Blackwings, they were like in the wrapper. Like they were, you know, brand new off the
No,
show.
they were brand new. Yeah.
Brand new off the
We
showroom
bought the
floor.
5V Blackwing at the dealer with the guy.
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
such a strange time. It's like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna buy it.
That
and,
car
you know,
never-
cut me a
that
check
car
on the side for 20
Drove
grand to
from
take
the
it home.
showroom floor to their parking lot. We put it on our trailer, and then came to our lot into our showroom. That car never got driven.
No.
changing
The only
hands.
car that we could have bought brand new was when I got us an allocation for the V, Escalade V.
And at that point, things were
but,
kind of.
but we weren't, but should have did it because they were still
Yeah.
selling for more, but we weren't sure. But
Yeah.
should have did it because we would have made some money on that at the time.
We did. We retailed a lot of those, but we did a lot of wholesaling with
A
the
lot
newer
of
stuff.
them, yeah, a lot of them were wholesaled.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Fun times.
That
Don't
was
think
good.
we'll ever see it again, though.
No.
Who knows? I was actually wondering about that. You know, like with everything going with EV vehicles and all that, you know, who knows what it could be like in 10, 20 years when someone's looking for a
Gas.
combustion engine,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll be alive
know.
for it, I
I
think.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's gonna come back around again. We'll see.
Come back around.
I don't know.
that kind of crazy price.
Well,
and
the,
stuff
No,
like
the
that.
no,
electric
like-
will die.
yeah,
and
I
it'll
don't
be
know.
normal.
I
Oh,
hope so.
electrics are definitely, they're giving them away to people.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
having a
giving
hard
it.
time getting rid of them. I think like places like California and like those type states and even like city states, crowded areas, you might see more electric cars, but Motor City, not happening.
We like our motors.
Yeah, we like our motors.
Yeah, we like our motors. Yeah, you can't outlaw that stuff. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. So, yeah. What you wanted to touch on that little Focus, right? Today,
Oh, yeah.
that did really well for you on Instagram. That little Focus that we had a while back.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Bought that a long time ago, man. Like we probably bought that in like 2011, but
This was
it's kind of wild. I guess we'll talk about it because it's just like it kind of come full circle the other day. I forgot to tell you this, Ryan, but so yeah, me and Anthony used to just peruse neighborhoods. We've said this many times, but we would just buy cars out of people's garages and whatnot, and we would always like travel around this one sub and see a Celine Focus. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but Celine did a Focus. It's called an N20. Had nitrous. You could option it with or without nitrous, but had a little nitrous bottle in the back. Had a body kit, so it had like different wheels. Got center exhaust like all Celines do. Kind of cool for a Focus. 2-liter, 155 horse. Celine stitched in the headrest. Had like little badge plaque or whatever. Car was number 74, and this guy had it in the driveway forever, and we were knocking on the door, just trying to. How many times we tried buying the car?
I think it was over a
for
few different
like,
years.
Yeah,
And
trying
then
to get this car.
it was a house that nobody ever answered. Lines were always closed. Never answered. I think come to find out, he worked like nights or something.
Yeah,
he was
that's
always
me.
sleeping. Every time
Yeah.
we went there, he was sleeping. I don't know if we caught him outside.
I
and
finally
within there.
caught him, but he
Yeah.
ended up, and it was weird because we finally caught him. He's like, "Yeah, I'll sell it." So it was
Oh,
like right
yeah.
away, we're like, "All right, cool." We're gonna
It laid there
we're
with
gonna make a deal.
flats,
Like
you
we
know.
wanted it so bad. I think the want was more than the
Yeah.
actually. We just wanted to say like we had this Celine Focus. It's so rare,
Very fast and furious.
We
Yep.
bought the car, had 33,000 miles on it at the time. We ended up like it needed some love. It may have been laying.
We brought
for
it
a
back to
bit,
life, and it sat outside.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't like rusty or anything, but it
Just
was
need
just
a lot of
just
detailing.
been laying.
Some
forever.
of the stickers were faded from being
Yeah,
outside.
bought a whole new sticker kit
Yep.
for it. Ended up like sending it to Mannheim auction and sold it back then. But funny enough, I posted it on the group like a week ago, and then Ryan, you put it on the Instagram. But I had Carfaxed it for fun just to see like where is it today, And it was still in Michigan. It was in Oxford. And just 2 days ago, me and Noah were scrolling Marketplace, and I'm like, I see this N20 Focus, and it's like beat to shit. And I click on it, and I'm like, that's number 74.
No way.
So it's a car. It's got 100,000 miles on it right now.
Yeah,
it's just
destroyed.
things just destroyed
Nitrous has
beyond
been
belief.
taken off of it.
the
and-
wings off of it. It's like on the front and rear side skirts, there's like a little like sliver of body panel that like a little bridge, I guess you'd call it, and those were busted off of it. And
The rims are like spray bombs.
Yeah, they're black.
Yeah, it's all faded.
It's rough, and it was crazy just to like see it today. Like I just post this, just kind of bring it back to life in my mind, and then to come across it on Marketplace. And
It's been posted for like 6 months.
Sheesh, you know,
It's been for sale forever, but it's rough.
Anthony sent the guy pictures of it back in its heyday, and the guy was like, "I'm just trying to sell
Once
the car,
again,
buddy."
here I am trying to, bring a story together with previous owners and everything, and nobody cares.
The guy's like, "You want to buy it, bud?" Or I don't care about the pictures, so
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Nobody
So-
likes a good, heartwarming story anymore.
Well, those are that car. It's not like an SRT4, but it's like an SRT4 in the sense that the people that get their hands on them, they were bound to get destroyed. A kid that got that car with the nitrous, he was like, "Hook that baby up and let's blow this thing." You know what I mean?
they drove it a ton.
The nitrous in those cars is really cool. So it was programmed to activate at 3,000 RPM to prevent like damage, and it like cut off just before red line. So it was all like regulated and like actually done pretty well.
But they didn't warranty it.
Well, and two, because it was illegal
That's
to own.
nice they did that, but
They came from the factory not hooked up. Like the bottle was in there,
You had
but
to
I
hook
think
it
like
up.
part of the kit, like I don't know if it was the wire or the hoses from the tank to the solenoids were in the trunk, and you had to hook it up, so that way they weren't responsible for anything. But even in the current ad, the guy says it was still never hooked up.
hey man, I like Focuses. Okay,
Yeah, we-
big. What is this? This is like the podcast of like
Memory lane.
what we like, because we're big Focus people. Let me tell you, we got we
Not that long ago.
I don't even want to know if I want to get into the amount of Ford Focus we've had, but we could probably talk for 25 minutes on the amount of
And it's
time.
mainly one generation.
Yeah, it's 08 or 11 or nothing. You know, them are the best, bar none. They run forever.
Indestructible.
If you see a low mileage one on the group, because there's been plenty of them, buy it. If you need a commuter car, buy
Yeah, they're
that
good
car.
cars.
Get the car, drive the wheels off of it. You cannot kill them. It's changed brakes, oil,
Couple
battery,
motor mounts.
tires, motor mount, just normal maintenance, but nothing else goes wrong.
Yeah, we would sit there in the red one, put it in neutral, rev it up.
Oh,
drop it.
we just destroyed these cars.
Man.
They just take it.
We'll talk
They take
about one. Okay, we've had about 6 or 7 that we've used for work over the years, but one stands out. We called it the Red Rocket. Anthony bought it off of some kid with like 80,000 miles. We were using it for work. Weirdest thing ever. This car had touch-up marks all over the body, and it looked like crayon, like on the whole car. And I'm like, man, this car's got a lot of scratches and marks on it. We go out there one day with lacquer thinner just to like see what spot. Nothing. Like the dude just went
It
around
was
with like red
like paint
crayon
transfer,
and just
like black marks that he was touching up. So when I wiped the paint off, the marks came off with it.
But we drove this car, finally retired it at 300. Well, we
50.
sold it. Someone else is driving it still to this
driving it.
day. But we sold like 350.
Yeah.
But this
350.
car with 350, we would hold it to the floor in neutral and slam it in the drive and pull hole shots in it. And the thing would wrap 6K and just
See,
Never
they eat, man.
skipped a beat.
They eat.
Never skipped a beat.
it never skipped a beat.
No.
That car was a jalopy. It was rotted.
I bet you could
gone,
rev that thing
junk.
out to about 8,500 RPM. And you're gonna,
Just bury it.
Dylan
What do
had
you
a
say we
thing
find
that he would say he was floating the valves, and he'd just sit there just rev it to the moon.
Yeah. And I'm still driving around one that we use for work that's got like two something. Anthony's still driving
I
around
got
one
one
that's
with
got
250.
250.
I just sold mine.
Noah's okay. We know what Noah's was.
Noah's
it
was
was
a
one owner, cream puff, window sticker. An
was
old
nice.
man bought
It
it
was
new
mint.
and
Never-
stored it in the winter.
Never drove in the winter.
And it had a full custom rear suspension.
Fully
Yeah, no.
adjustable.
Normally,
Normally they're
Damn.
fixed, so you can't align the rear. So he put a fully adjustable rear in it so he
Yeah.
can align it.
So
I
this
mean,
thing
it
is
handled
just
like on rails. You
Yeah.
could take a turn. Oh man, it was
he
impressive.
just sold it. It was the best
Yeah.
one. It should have never let it go because the car should be under a cover in the garage right now with how nice it was. But
We've
yeah, it
had
had
a-
Michelin tires on it, brand new.
Yeah, it had Pilot Super
gets
Sports
hooked
on it.
up. He's got a stack of receipts this high.
Yeah.
Just amazing car. You know, these things
Another
are
fantastic deal.
yeah, smoking deal on it, like $3,000 for a true gem. You know, I mean,
They're good cars.
They're the best. So
We've had a few low mileage ones too.
yeah,
Sub
we've had
10,000.
tons of low mileage ones we bought and sold. People love them. They sell really good. So
Our
just
salesman has one.
yeah, everybody's got
We
one
sold
around
them.
us.
We even like our friends are like, why do you drive it? You talk them into it. Next thing you know, a couple
They
of our
buy
friends
one.
get them, and then it's like our salesman sees us just great success in one. He gets one.
His is
one.
pea green.
Yeah,
I
pea
feel
green.
really bad for him. I feel really bad
But
for him. on
his
that one,
was
but
low mileage for the year at the time. It was a good deal.
from Florida. It was mint.
Very
it was
clean.
a really clean
and
car.
he didn't care. He just knew it was a good
So
car.
he drives a
back and
pea
forth.
green Focus around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, we
Economical.
bought some cool Focuses. We
We've
bought
had it, yeah.
we bought a Compo SVT. What
Yeah.
year was that car?
04.
2004. Euro spec, four-door. Had every option. Had the subwoofer, leather, moon.
Yeah.
You know, it was
That was a
the
cool car.
one.
Those
That
are
car-
fun to drive. That was a
Yeah,
really
they're
fun car to
sweet,
drive.
man.
What year
That
was
car
it?
struck.
S-
04.
Yeah, SVT Focus.
That car struck.
I think I
super
just
cool.
posted one of those.
But it had a
Big
Euro
deal.
spec, which I didn't even know existed. But yeah, it was like one of 51 in the color of the Euro
Yeah.
spec.
We go down to Grosse Ile, Michigan, which is a little island down past Detroit, downriver area, and we go down there to buy this SVT Focus Comp Orange, and it's got 12,000 miles on it. It's mint, it's one owner, and we found it on Car Gurus of all sites. I'm like, the hell, you know, no pictures, nothing. So we go down there to see it. Some old guy has it. We get down there, and he's like, I got a heck of a collection, you know, I'm trying to liquidate. And we're like, oh, sweet, you know. So he takes us first. He's got a 99 F-150 Super Cab Lariat 4x4. It's like the burgundy with the like a silverish bottom or whatever. 5.4, would have 4,000 miles.
4,000.
Yeah,
I think it just had under 4.
like
but the drive
3,900
rate-
miles. Truck's brand new.
Yeah.
We're like,
Cab,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was brand
we're like,
new.
yeah, we got to have this too. So we're like, all right, so we take the Focus. We'll take that. Like, what else you got? Get back to his house again. He's like, all right, let me open the garages. I mean, he had to just like,
He had a
Yeah,
house
like a
garage that
long-
was oversized,
Yeah.
and then he had a
How many
detached
garage doors did
barn
he have?
style garage.
a lot.
I think there
8?
was like, I think the barn
That's
had
pretty
like
crazy.
6, and the house had 2.
Yeah.
So he pulls out one, and you know, opens the garage, pulls one out. He's got was a 98 Cobra.
It was a 98.
Yeah, 98 Cobra, chrome yellow. And the weird thing about it was a
spoiler delete,
Spoiler delete.
with cloth seats.
yeah, which is weird.
Which is really weird
Super
for a Cobra.
weird.
Most Cobras have black leather or tan in the
Yeah.
SN.
Yeah.
2,000 miles on it. Cars, you know.
Matter
brand-
of fact, actually, you can bring
it
the
is
person
on the
that
group
bought it
somewhere.
from the person that bought it from us put it on Bring a Trailer.
And it did make its way on the low miles group.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we're like, yeah,
It could have been a 1-of-1.
well, it was a 101. He did it. The guy did a Marty report on
1-of-1.
It was
It was
101.
1-of-1.
And so we take that car too. I'm pretty sure you can get a Mach 460 sound system in those, and I literally think it didn't have it. Like it was like base. It was like a base
I don't know.
98 Cobra. But 2,000 miles. We're like, yeah, sure, we'll take that one too. And then we're like, what else you got? So he's got a 93 anniversary Corvette, you know, the ruby red interior. What would it have on it? 12,000 miles or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, we'll take that one too. And then
Was that
now
a stick or was that an auto?
it was an auto. Now we're just like, you know, rummaging for scraps at his house. Like, what else you got? He's got like, I got a really nice 98 Ranger with 40,000 miles, single cab short bed truck. We're like, we'll buy that too. And then
Yeah,
and then the
nice truck.
last one like was in his last garage. He had
94.
94 S10. Super cool truck though. It was built for like Pro Tour for the Pro Tour, and it was Bahama blue, which is a super cool color. And it had a fuel injected 350 in it, so it was a sweet.
yeah,
little
I
Is
truck.
that a
think,
factory color?
Yeah.
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 You
I
don't
think
see
a
it, though.
guy that owned an A store, new car store, built it and was his like car for that tour.
Yeah, for
and
the
then
Pro
he got
Tour.
it somehow. I don't know how he
Yeah,
obtained
that's it right there. That's the truck. You're actually
Yeah, that's
got
it.
on the-
That's
Well, that
the
is
exact-
the
that's
exact
the
truck.
truck.
Yeah,
That
is
is
it right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold it to a guy, a friend of ours, local in town. He changed the wheels and a bunch of stuff on it, and That's how it looked when we got it, though.
Yeah.
The blue
Exactly.
lagoon.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
blue lagoon.
Pull up the motor real quick.
It had a nice little 350 in it. Yeah, I mean, it was a really good build.
It
I mean,
looked
was
like
it
it came from the factory.
It looked
Yeah.
impressive.
factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we took that too, and it was cool because I mean that's about an hour from where our office was at the time. So we were like, rally up the boys, call all our friends, get everybody involved. So everybody, we had a transit van at the time, and we just all piled in the transit van and went down there and just picked them all up.
He had more cars too. He had a Cougar.
He had a Cougar with like a $20,000 sound system in it.
Even this truck, you can see the sub there on the console. This guy was all about his music.
I don't know if that was in there.
It was laying behind the seat.
was it?
They're displaying it like that, but it was behind the seat.
It was a cool truck, though. I mean, everything he had was really.
He has a car to this day. I would die to own.
67 Corvette.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that
Yeah.
one.
And
Green.
it was, I think, like a factory disc brake car. It was,
Had knockoff wheels
Yep,
on it.
knockoffs.
It was the one. The
and
one
we've
you
been
want.
hounding him every couple of years. We give him a call, but still not ready.
No, still not ready. So, yeah, no. So that was a cool buy. It was just cool to like go with all your buddies and grab 6 cars and just have like a convoy home, full of these low mileage cars.
I bet you that guy did not expect that to happen. Neither did we.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
He
He was
thought
like,
he
I
was
didn't really
selling a Focus.
anticipate. Yeah, he's like, I didn't really anticipate selling my whole entire car.
he cleared
collection
house.
almost today. But yeah,
he ended
did
up.
clear
I think he
house.
had 3 cars.
So-
Well, 4. He was building a Mustang that wasn't there. Then he had that Cougar. And then what was the other car that we came close to buying but didn't? Was it a Buick or Pontiac? Was it a SJ?
Oh yeah. He did have an SJ, a Grand
Yeah.
Prix. He had a
Yeah.
Grand Prix that we
We looked
wanted
at
to
it. We
buy. It was a
pulled it
really nice
out,
car.
and,
Oh,
he
and he had a 78 pace car
That he was building.
or 79 pace car. Corvette. We thought about buying that too, and didn't end up coming to terms on it. But yeah, he had a lot of stuff. So
It was a good guy, and it was a pleasant transaction. Everything was great. Made it super easy. And I wish we had more of those.
You have anything fun happen on Instagram this week, Ryan?
Well, shucks. Yeah, Instagram has been going pretty steady this week. Everyone's been loving the Cyclone, that's for sure.
Cyclone, I believe, is sold. We'll find out.
That one turned into
next
like
day
part
or
of the
two.
family. It's gonna hard to see it leave.
Yeah. We like it in the showroom a little bit too much. It's a nice
He's
one.
been in this town his whole life.
Yeah.
There was some good there was some good stuff on the group this week. I seen a couple good deals. Trans Ams, a good member of ours, had a Hellcat that he put up in the wrapper, and a really, really nice like '08 Ram 1500 with 7,000 miles that he sold to another good member. He sold both of them to a good member. There was a lot of good deals transacted this week in the group, and we're just getting ready to launch our website here. We're probably like a couple weeks out, I want to say. We're
Getting
just
real close.
really just testing. We don't want any issues for anyone. So
No.
we just keep revising and testing and, making sure everything's working the way it should so we can launch that to everybody. And,
Yeah.
And even the people that aren't gonna be like selling their cars on the website, that's where all the merch is gonna be advertised and be able to purchase. So when it's live and you want merch, that's where
well,
it's
and
gonna
then
be
too,
at.
if you're looking to buy something, you're in the market for an LMNM car, you need to start. That needs to be added to your bookmarks and start perusing that site every single every single night. There's going to be a lot of good stuff on there for sure. So not just
100%.
dealers, private sellers.
Be,
We hope it's a huge community like we've built. We were talking about it with the website crew because we're putting together some analytics, and we have a 435,000 plus member community right now. So almost at 500,000. We get 750,000 interactions a month. We get 13 million page views on average a month. So I mean, we built a pretty good following here. So the community's great, and we really look forward to sharing all that stuff with everyone. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I mean, the community is awesome.
it is.
Yeah,
our community is like
very good.
It's there's nothing else like it. I don't think.
Yeah.
No, there's
it's just
not.
cool, like on the Instagram post, people are always pumped about them, it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone just enjoying these cool cars, like that's what it's all about.
It is. It really is. And we're trying our best too to like I don't want to say we're like not fully involved in the group right now because we've been really involved in like just kind of building the other sector of this community, you know. But we'll be back more involved in it here soon. You know, we've had some people say, "Oh, you know, the comments are getting nasty and this and that." Like we're keeping the mods going and we're making sure we're cracking down on it, and you know that's we like to run a clean space. So I see it's funny because like I never really see what goes on Instagram, but I'll get a lot of notifications to my phone and I'll get I see some nasty comments.
Instagram's worse, way worse than Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram's ruthless. I mean, you know, but
comes.
you would never really know because, you know, all the posts, like we're making the posts, so we're the ones kind of seeing the comments and you don't have to really see that. So
yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny, you know, you get, I mean, with anything you're gonna get bad comments.
Yeah.
But I think
Nature
the
of the
cool thing
beast.
about the Instagram is most of the people that are saying some off the wall stuff, you know, everyone will correct them. They'll be like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
are
you do
talking
see
about?
that a lot for sure.
You know?
It all comes from
there's
jealousy.
good debates. There's good debates in there.
debates.
I've seen some really good debates. I've seen some people like just really talking some crap. They don't even know what they're talking about and get, you know, just corrected and put in their place on there. So
There was one with the Cobra R that got hit in the dealership.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine that.
Yeah, and there was a comment, you know, I give them props because there was a comment, you know, like, who cares about that car? And, you know, someone was like, hey, man, this is a super rare car, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, all right, that makes sense. And I commented back, I'm like, hey, dude, props. That's cool. You can own up
They
to
accepted
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen someone said something to you on there, and you were like, "You must have not read, or you must not be paying any attention." And he was like, he apologized, like, "Oh, you're right, man. Like I wasn't."
So I stepped out of line.
Yeah, just
And, you know, I mean, that was like after I scrolled down like 10, like, dude, the seats are ruined. What did they do to them? They're smoking in there. It's like, nah, dude, it says green paint got spilled on there, man.
oh yeah,
On the
that thing
Blazer.
was crazy. Yeah, another good member. Yeah, he was selling a Blazer. It's got like 880 miles on it. But what year is that? 96.
97.
97.
97 Blazer. It's just 2-wheel drive. I know if it was he was getting a lot of action. Like I wouldn't doubt if he sells it soon, but if it was 4-wheel drive, people would be going insane.
The truck was
but-
on the page one time before.
Yeah, it's that really cool green, really cool like emerald green color. But yeah, it was stolen, and someone spilt paint on the seats, I guess.
Yeah, there's paint thrown on the front seats, some dash
Vandalism.
damage, and some broken plastic clips.
Yeah, you know, there's some paint splatter. I don't know what was going on in there, but you know,
The Hulk was in there, man.
Got a little excited.
yeah, I don't know
It's
what was
hulking
up.
out.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's a cool one though. What's he asking for that thing?
It's pending.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah,
still
pending.
15.5.
He was asking 15.5.
15.5.
I wonder if that deal got finalized and if
you
a
know.
member bought it.
I thought it did sell.
I mean, that's a.
I mean, I like the old Blazers. They come with a lot of quirks, and they have a lot of issues. Them old 4.3s, which
Well,
I'm sure,
their
Ryan, you should
issues-
know 4.3s like the back of your hand.
Mine was great.
Yeah.
That thing,
Everyone says they're great, but they do have a ton of
they
dumb
have two
problems.
main
Dude.
issues.
Fuel
Fuel pump and intake gasket. Outside of that, they're bulletproof.
Mine was good.
I
dude,
had
I
like the issue with like the
Door pins.
well, yeah, door pins.
I took mine, you know, up north, you know, dirt biking every weekend. Never really had an issue. Beat the living hell out of it. I mean,
We've bought a lot of Blazers, S10s, 4.3s, whatever.
No, they always leak. Oil
Well, a lot
cooler
of
lines.
oil, yeah, oil
Just top
coolers.
off. Come on now.
Yeah, but they got a lot of quirky little issues.
They run
I'm not
forever,
knocking
though.
the 4.3 because they
You know
do
what
go,
you're getting
they do go
into.
Yeah.
300K, but you are kind of working on it.
I feel like
with
that
it,
generation of GM all had bad oil cooler lines,
Yeah.
even into early 2000s.
Yeah, we could sit here and talk about cars all day and the issues they have, but I just know to me the 4.3s are a little junky
mine
sometimes.
saw quite a bit of the rev limiter back in the day, man.
Yeah, maybe yours was good because you were just beating it to death.
Yeah, she was healthy.
Maybe
Them valves
maybe,
were clear.
Maybe you
that's
just
how-
gotta beat them.
Even
I mean, that's how you make cars last.
They like the high
Yeah.
RPMs.
Yeah, clean them out. Get the carbon out of there, man.
Yeah.
Beat the living shit out of it.
It's, you know, just sitting in the garage one day, just whop it bop.
That's why we said our focus has lasted so long.
just
'cause we beat
driving
the
'em
living
hard.
crap out of
I
it.
know. I don't really, you got to hit red line every time you take off in that Focus.
Yeah, if you're not hitting red line like 10 times per drive, you ain't doing it right.
Yeah, seriously.
you need to get every dollar out of all those RPMs. If you paid for it, use all of them.
There's
That's
a
right.
lot. It's
Yeah.
fun. I don't know why, but just thinking of oil cool lines, oil cooler lines. I'm thinking of that Ram SRT-10 we bought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't that it's not really relevant, but it is relevant because
oil cooler issue.
yeah, there was this is kind of crazy, but so it's probably like 2016, 2017. I'm looking in this newspaper that I looked in always to buy cars, and I see this '06 Inferno Red SRT-10 Ram, and it's it's single cabs, it's the one everybody wants, and it's got 12,000 miles on it. It says bad engine in all caps, 5K. I'm like, $5,000? Yeah, there's no way. This has got to be. I don't care if it's got a bad engine. It's 12,000.
I think it had
mile
just one
SRT-10.
single picture, and the truck looked brand new.
Well, yeah. So I sent it to Anthony. I'm like, you got to call on this like right now. So he calls on it. And he calls me back. He's like, hey, yeah, the guy said it's brand new. He said he put on an oil cooler and like an aftermarket oil cooler, and they hooked it up backwards and starved the engine of oil and blew it up.
The big thing with that truck, supposedly, he said he was reading in forums and stuff that they had factory oil cooler issues. So he put on this aftermarket one for prevention, and they hooked it up backwards.
They ends up blowing it up.
Yeah.
So he had bought the truck with like 10,000 miles. He bought it at a local dealer. He paid $30K for it. I would say at that time it was probably worth $30K. So like we just, we're like, you're asking $5,000. He's like, yeah, I'm asking $5,000. I want to get rid of it. So I just want this. I'm pissed. I'm mad. I want it out of here. So it's in Chicago. So we had a single cab like '04 Cummins on the lot, and we didn't have a truck like to take in that moment. So we're just like, take the Cummins. Let's go get a U-Haul trailer. They're asking us at U-Haul, what are you hauling? And we're like, SRT-10 Ram.
We called one store and we told them
they
that.
said
They
no.
said no, it wouldn't fit.
They go, you can't.
So
you can't
then
rent
we
it.
called a different store and told them like a different vehicle that we knew was gonna fit.
Yeah. So we were like,
So we just
because
needed
they
a
wouldn't
trailer.
give us a trailer.
Yeah, they
If you
wouldn't.
told them you were hauling a Ram, they're like, you can't do it. So, but we're thinking in our head, it's going to fit perfect,
Well, we're like, we're Googling like 2006 Ram, will it fit on a U-Haul trailer? And everyone's like, yeah. And we weren't factoring SRT.
Oh.
And, you got 20-inch rims that are wide.
Yeah.
So come to find out, that was the issue. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. So we fly down, we're cruising down to Chicago. It's about a 5-hour ride for us. Getting to Chicago, it's like the evening time. We check the truck out. It's perfect. We end up asking, like, why are you asking $5,000? Like this isn't really making sense. And he's like, well, I called Prefix, which is a place up here
They're the
that
people
built
that built the
Viper
Vipers.
motors. So they built the motors. So he called them and he's like, how much for a motor or rebuild mine or whatever? And they were like, it's about $25,000. So he factored in his head, well, truck's worth 30, it's 25 to fix it. I'm just gonna ask $5,000. That's all it's worth. So we end up buying it. We go to load it up. It's not fitting good.
Those
and now
U-Hauls-
the straps of the U-Haul, because they have
They go over the tire and then strap down. They're too short to fit over the
not
rims.
gonna work.
And then even like the way the U-Haul trailers are, they have like little runners or tracks that you drive onto, and they kind of have a lip to it.
Yeah.
And so naturally the truck kind of sat on top of that. And then the strap wouldn't fit over it. Like we don't know what to do, this, that, and they can't strap it down. The guy's like, well, there's a Home Depot or something. We can go buy straps.
So I went and got
We
straps.
went and bought normal straps and just strapped it down to the trailer. And
and went home. But a truck was hanging off that back of the trailer. Not a good idea. But sometimes you got to improvise. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, it was safe, but it wasn't like it was not the right trailer for that
job.
truck. No way.
And we were 5 hours away from home. We're
Yeah,
not
you
gonna
couldn't
go
drive
home
it.
and
What was
regroup.
crazy about it is the guy, so we get there, remember he starts it up and we're like,
It sounded fine.
we're like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's like rev it up a little bit. So you're like revving it. You slightly hear just like a little like wrist pin type like rattle in the bottom end, but it was so slight, like you could barely hear it. And so we end up getting it back, and my dad, me and Noah's dad, like fell in love with it. And he's like, I gotta have that thing. And it just sat in the back of the shop for
A lot of people don't work on
long
Vipers or
time.
touch
a
them.
long time.
We were-
No one would work on it. Nobody
We were trying
wanted
to find
do
somebody
it.
to either rebuild it, maybe tear it apart and just, put a bearing in it, whatever it needed. Nobody would touch it.
No, nobody wanted to
Prefix
touch it.
was
So
the
then
only
we're
guy.
like, what should we do? It's got a T56 in it. It's got a Dana rear end. Like maybe we just buy a Hellcat. drive at the time, like,
Yeah.
you know, the Hellcat swaps
Yeah.
were coming out and stuff. So we are like, we should just Hellcat swap, have this crazy ass SRT-10 Ram.
How
you know?
long did we hold? How
sweet.
long did your dad keep it? Was
He
it
kept
like 2
it
years?
for like 2 or 3
3
years,
years.
and then we
Yeah.
needed some room back here, and he just ended up listing it for sale and sold it the way it was. But,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny because I think when we went to sell it, if it was fixed, it was probably worth about 45, 50K. So it went up quite a bit in value of just sitting there, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm talking this truck was brand new. Like it was
Oh, paint was
showroom,
real
like
nice,
the guy's
interior was
baby
real
under a
nice.
cover, like just like you'd treat a
Yeah.
a Viper itself. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
Wheels were
So-
perfect.
Yeah. So we ended up with this, but it was just crazy to think about it at the time. Like for $5,000, I would never let that thing go. That thing would sit in my garage.
The
just
sad
to
thing
stare
is,
at
like
for
in
$5,000.
today's world, I bet you like the body kit, like all the side.
Well, that's why we
moldings,
bought
the
it.
hood, the wheels are worth more than $5,000.
Why we bought it at the time was we were like in parts with
Yeah.
the interior and
The
everything because they had
seats
a
and-
they're different, totally different interior than a normal Ram.
Yeah.
We're in the transmission and even
Yeah.
the motor, even though it had had a bad wrist pin,
Still
we'll
worth
say
something.
it's still is very valuable motor. So
Yeah.
we're like, man, this is
No brainer.
this is a no brainer. But that thing
And it's
thing
like-
should still be here today.
Yeah.
It really should, and it's a shame that we don't have it. But who can say that they bought any SRT-10 Ram for $5,000?
Yeah.
And that goes, I mean, a lot of people probably had the same feeling with other deals, but it was one of those deals that it was so cheap, you thought you were getting scammed. So the whole way down there, we weren't sure what we were going to expect.
And we're going to Chicago.
Yeah, which is, a rough neighborhood, all that stuff, which he ended up living in a real nice part
it
of
was
it.
like on the outskirts, but yeah.
In our head, we're thinking the truck's described wrong. It's not what it is, or it just doesn't exist. We don't know, So the whole ride down there, we were just antsy to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
We've had a few deals like that. They were like, "This is just too cheap, too good to be true. Like, what is it?"
Waiting for the
Sometimes
catch.
it is, though.
Yeah,
But this one didn't have a catch. But we should still have it today. But I don't care if like you found a freight trained SRT-10 Ram, you're probably not going to get one.
Someone could
For
have got a quad
$5,000.
cab for that kind of money.
if it had issues or a lot of miles.
Just a lot of miles.
Yeah, but
We'll see.
who wants a quad?
Well, I'm just saying. I could see some in the comments. "Oh, I bought this."
All right, yeah, you're right. Post up. Tell us what you got. Show me your $5,000.
But a regular cab?
SRT-10
No, I
Ram.
highly doubt it. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, there was that one that was wrecked.
That was still like
Yeah.
20
Cage,
grand.
Yeah, how much was that?
Yeah, let me
20
find.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Because then I start to taste them. I say, and then I start to smell them. So it's like the smell like tastes like other. So I knew something was wrong. I knew something special about it.
That one.
That's a funny one.
That got a lot of comments and a lot of heat in it when it was on the Facebook page. didn't
Well,
it?
because Keegan was screwing with people. He posted the
Oh,
other side, and
yeah.
people were like, that's a
Oh,
steal.
yeah.
That's a steal. And,
Oh, yeah, right there,
And there's
right
this
there.
freight train.
Do you guys remember the video of the kid?
18K.
18K.
Yeah, 18
How many
grand
miles?
At 8,800.
8,800. Yeah.
You remember the video on YouTube of the young kid doing a burnout in his dad's SRT-10 Ram and he flipped it?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, I do remember. That was a
Oh,
kid?
Yeah, it was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, he took his dad. Yeah, it was his dad's truck and he flipped it.
Maybe it was that one.
Those trucks.
No,
were-
no. I mean, it flipped. I mean, it was. Yeah, look it up. It's on there.
Was that a kid, though, doing that? Yeah, it's saying it's that video,
no,
right?
it's not. It's not it.
Is it that one?
No, it was a red. Let's see if I can find out the exact video. What it's called? Right there. Ram
yeah.
SRT
Yeah.
flips and crash.
Look at that.
Yeah. That might be the truck.
No, because this thing.
That's not fucking good.
You all right?
Shit, you all right,
I'm
dude?
telling you, it was a kid. I think if you read the comments, it was
Jimmy,
a
okay?
young
Was
kid.
it his dad filming or a friend?
I think it's
You okay?
friend.
You
See?
sure?
He's a young kid.
Seriously.
Fuck, dude.
Well, what just happened? Like,
Oh, my God.
Wow, that kid's dad was probably very upset. Wow. From that angle right there, it looks like the roof's gone. Like, how did
No,
he
it
even
is.
survive?
That's
yeah,
crazy.
no, it's-
Yeah, over here you can see.
It's a little bit.
All
Yeah,
right,
looks like
that is a different one. That's a different Ram.
Man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of Vipers and apparently the trucks got totaled.
Yeah, right.
a lot of torque.
Well, Cool. I think that's a good. I think that's enough for today. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Good one to end on. Nice Ram
Yeah.
flipping over.
Yeah,
SRT-10.
yeah, that works. All right, y'all. Well, hey, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Watch out for the website that's coming. Buy some merchandise. And post up some stuff. We really want to see, like, if you haven't posted in a long time, post up some stuff. Like, forget the for sale stuff. Let's just see some actual posts for like a little.
Yeah.
bit, you know?
Even if you're feeling a little shy and you never posted before, let's see what you
throw
got.
it out there. You never know. You know?
Post it out
We'll
there.
make sure the comments, bad ones, get deleted. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
share it on the
don't
gram.
don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
We don't
So-
bite.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hope everyone has a good week. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Shoot. Got your ass.